March Madness is here. The NFL QB Carousel spinning around, and the World Baseball Classic sees someone out for the year when it comes to Major League Baseball. This is the We Don't Know Sports Podcast. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the We Don't Know Sports Podcast. This is Chad the Mark with
Mr. Brown
and
Canadian Biggie.
And who in the blue hell is this Rudy Poo Candy Ass?
Holy shit, it's Turbo Tommy.
We haven't seen you since football season.
It has been a while.
Once the picks went away, he went away. What the hell's that?
The picks went away before the season started. They were pretty bad.
We all were. Either way, nice to see you, sir.
Yeah,
welcome back.
Good
to
be back. Good to be back.
We got a lot going on, guys. We got a jam-packed show. We got March Madness happening in the background, and that kicked off today. Unless you count the first four. Do you count the first four in as being?
I do not.
I don't.
I definitely don't, because you're allowed to change your bracket up until today.
That is true.
So that's it.
But does it even matter? Everybody's bracket is done.
No, it is done. You're right.
I was thinking like one game in the first day, and it was like 90% of them are shit.
Well, after Princeton won, so it changed.
Arizona, Virginia were in the same bracket.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, 0.17 of 20 million brackets were perfect.
Whoever has the bracket still correct, they got their hands on that damn sports almanac from Biff Tanner.
That's the shit. I can tell you this right now as a West Virginia fan watching today. You know how Virginia threw the bad pass, Furman took it, and they hit that three, and you're like, it's going to go in. When Keedy Johnson's coming across half court, we don't get those moments. I fucking knew he was missing.
I prefer to think of the hot tub time machine and where's the squirrel.
You're right. Where's William Zabka or Johnny Lawrence with a weird mustache?
I like your style.
A classy one.
It's so black.
Oh, I'm just kidding. It's hand soap. Yes. If you know, you know. So let's just kind of embrace the madness here. So I'll give you $1 right now if any of y'all can tell me Furman's mascot, what they are.
They are a flying moth.
Are they? How about they're the paladins? Do you know what a paladin is?
A tank.
It's a paladin. I don't know what a paladin is. Something religious. Is that like a friar or a choir boy or something? But anyway.
I thought it was a tank.
Furman. Well, they tanked UVA. Is there...
So, real quick, I was like, I knew WVU they would win maybe or lose, but they were only probably going to win one game. I was like, but I'm so thankful I get Virginia in there to cheer for too. Local homegrown talent. Isaac nearly dropped 12 today in the loss, but of course they both lose within a matter of minutes. So now I'm like, who the hell do I root for now?
But are we surprised that UVA blows that though? Like, they are the only one seed to lose to a 16.
Clark Kellogg said it before our game that watch Furman are going to win today.
Of course, Clark Kellogg said
Kellogg did say that.
Yeah, did you see it?
Yep.
There was another one he said. He said Furman and someone else.
Princeton over Arizona.
No, he didn't call Princeton.
I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, you know what Princeton are? They're also, they kind of have like a
Tigers.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, Princeton Tigers.
I was thinking, who the hell's Providence? They're the Friars. I don't know the hell I'm smoking. Never mind.
Most universities get their nickname and they always keep it, right?
Well, except for St. John's and Syracuse.
I said most. Okay. It's like 320-something D1
Red
schools.
Storm.
Furman did not become the Paladins until 1961. Up until that, they were the Hornets as the baseball team, the Hurricanes as the football team, the basketball team was the Paladins, and then now they're all the Paladins.
All the Paladins.
Is it normal for teams to have different mascots?
I don't know every mascot.
But can we get a round of applause for Biggie with that great trivia knowledge there? Let's get.
Thanks to Google.
King of Junior or Senior.
All right. So the madness is on. The brackets are done, but it is an enjoyable time to watch. Right now we got Boise State Northwestern in the background. Like, who would ever watch that game to begin with? But because it's the madness, it's everything that's great about college sports.
Northwestern wins this game. All you're going to see are pictures of the crying kid from the last time they were in and how old he is now.
Wait, isn't he like he's something now?
He's a crying adult.
He's a grown ass man. Is he like he's in like press pool or something for a team? I can't remember.
I'm not sure.
I swore I saw that. I forgot all about it until you just mentioned it, but I think he works with a university, not Northwestern. I think he's in somebody else's camp now. But anyway, you don't have some of the big names in coaching that used to have. A lot of these guys are bowing out. You know, we miss like Roy Williams and Coach K. Boeheim's done now.
You got Tom Izzo, Bill Self, and other than that, in the tournament, who stands out to you as a legendary coach? Not they're on a lot of.
Think about it. They talked about today. Huggins now the all-time leader. All-time leader.
He's active all-time winningest coach.
Calipari.
Yeah.
But once you get past that, you're going to a lot of guys that have been multiple. Calvin Sampson, Houston's great. How many times he's coached like 3-4 different schools?
Well, how long before the rest of these old timers like fall out? Because it's a different game than what they started in, and you're watching a lot of these games and they're nothing but transfers. Like even like we're WVU fans, right? Like the whole roster was a collection
Almost
of talent.
recognizable player was Emmett Matthews, who transferred back to us.
Left and came back.
How is it now that college, you have to relearn a whole team even more so than a pro team?
I know, because
Like with free agency.
this is real free agency now.
It gets mad.
There's no union. There's nothing to protect it. There's no contracts. There's no
Just straight up
bylaws.
free-for-all.
It is.
It's like just pickup games, new pickup games every year.
It's like the underbelly of capitalism. It's like the worst part of anything you can fathom. But, it still makes for an enjoyable thing because anytime it's the same thing. It's not as nearly as popular because it's like ex-college players. But, you have the basketball tournament, right? And that gets a little bit of traction in the summertime, the TBT. Why? Because it's this big tournament and you're one and done.
Yeah.
It's not a series. It's exciting. And you got 68 down to 64 schools. And anything can happen. We're in day one, and we're already talking about all this wacky shit. But that being said, do you have a favorite? Do you have somebody that you think's got a chance to win it all? I'm going to get mine out of the way and say I think it's Kansas. I thought Kansas should have been the number 1 overall seed coming in. They gave it to Alabama because bang, bang. But that's neither here nor there.
I'm with you on Kansas. I think they got a chance to be the first team to repeat as champs since Florida, Billy Donovan, 06-07.
That's correct.
I just want to see the Big 12's dominance continue because they just keep getting to the title.
If the Big 12 wins this year, it's 3 years in a row. It's the first time it's happened in like 20, 30 years.
It's 3 years in a row, and then they've been there 4 years in a row, right? Because didn't Texas Tech lose?
Was there with Chris Beard.
Yeah.
Lost to Virginia in the championship. The year after Virginia lost as a number 1 seed. So maybe today's a good omen for them.
If Houston would happen to win it all, they'd be the first team to win it all on their home court since 1972.
And they're going to be in the Big 12 next year. So
It's going to get even crazier.
like that basketball conference is off the rails right now.
Who do you like?
No, so I filled out 2 brackets. I did one with you. I did one at work. I don't remember which one, but I picked Purdue in one, and then I picked Kansas in the other.
Yeah.
But they seem to love them some Houston and Alabama in the pregame with Charles and Kenny.
Of course.
The thing I heard said the most about Alabama was if you put blue uniforms on them, Duke, Kansas, Carolina, UCLA, they'd be everyone's slam dunk pick. It's just the fact that it's Alabama.
And it's not
They were the number 1 overall seed, though. Like, you can't say they're getting hate. Like,
well, I bet your national recognition just because you think Alabama, you think of football.
what's their best finish in the tournament the last 10 years?
I feel like they've been to a Sweet 16 or two.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
they've not even been in an Elite 8 or a Final 4, I believe. So I think we're okay. Don't get upset at us for not having a lot of faith in Alabama when you ain't done anything, So
You get enough in football, damn it. Go home.
you can't have it all. All right, on to the NFL news cycle that just never, ever stops. They have control of the entire calendar all year long. And let's just start with Aaron Rodgers real quick, because my favorite thing that came out of the week is Aaron Rodgers going on Pat McAfee like he knew he would. Like, this is a track record. And did you see Shefty, what he sent out? Where
Here's my number.
Yeah, he's trying to text it. That was the greatest thing ever.
Rodgers is such a dick.
I agree.
I hope he breaks his femur.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, is it not punishment enough?
Not break his leg. I want him to break the femur.
Is it not punishment enough just to go to the Jets?
Now, you ask him for it. Be careful what you wish for.
So, that
Turn
kind
that
of
well, Dick Pick Favre.
That's and like we're talking, Jordan Love will be on the Jets in another 9 years or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was the cherry on top of what's been the QB carousel so far. So let's just start with that overall. Like, does this make the Jets a playoff team? how is this marriage going to
The
look?
Jets had any QB play last year, they'd have been in the playoffs.
Right? Like, are they going to be able to replicate that? Now, let's also highlight the fact that the AFC East, they're all trying to get better except for New England. But, everybody's making moves.
They got Juju.
Going backwards.
They did sign Juju. You're right.
So I got to double down on Aaron Rodgers. So I'm sorry if I came out of a dark room with 12 black women, I'd be a lot nicer and a lot happier.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
He only spent
I thought it was
2.5
just a
days.
There's dark women in there.
You can't. Well, they all look dark when they're playing.
Allegedly.
It was supposed to be a 4-day dark room. He came out after 2.5.
He
Yeah,
tapped
so-
out.
Yep.
He said, "I'm bone dry."
He didn't take his India pills.
Camagra. Google
I
that.
don't, when you look at it, if he goes in and actually puts in effort over the offseason to get familiar, they signed Lazard, who's a good receiver. They got the rookie from last year, who's pretty good.
I heard they're going to
Brees
sign
Hall's a
Donald
good
Driver.
running
Oh,
back.
and Greg
Greg
Jennings.
Jennings.
Yeah.
Robert Brooks.
Maybe it was
They're good
Sterling
on both
Sharp.
sides of the line. They got good defense. Last year, if they'd have had Derek Carr at quarterback, they'd have won 10 games.
Anybody except for the Swamp Monster and Mike White.
White.
It's just so
What monsters in
crazy.
Carolina, brother?
Mike White
Oh,
went
that's
down
right.
to
Still
Miami.
feeling the effects.
He's ready to see the field next year.
So I don't even want to shift gears on that, but to me, I feel like he's a better fit than Tua.
Yeah, wow. He'll
Well,
probably get a
if he
chance
stays
to play.
healthy. I mean, that's the thing. Like Tua, when he was on the field pre-concussion,
They were rolling.
Miami was scaring
Yeah,
people.
Nice.
So I saw this video on it. It took about 5 or 6 different touchdown throws this year of different lengths, and it flipped the video around so you see him as a righty instead of a lefty. He looks like a completely different quarterback.
You're like, wow.
And then also the Jalen Ramsey deal for the Dolphins. That deal was so bad they tried it on Madden and Madden rejected it.
Like what are the Rams doing?
I don't know. And they're also shopping Stafford, obviously.
I mean, why
Why
not?
wouldn't you?
I mean, and you wonder why McVay even came back.
I told Landon that my son. He's a newly identifiable Dolphins fan, and I was like, "You'll get Ramsey." He's like, "Yeah, I know, it's awesome." I was like, "It got rejected on Madden when they tried it." He goes, "I know, we fleeced him, Dad." Like he knows what he's talking about.
It's all about the game and how you play it.
When I brought Madden in, it all came from full
Yeah,
circle.
it's like exactly. That's why I like the Dolphins now. All right, so let's get through the rest of the quarterback carousel here. So your Raiders, man, if there's anybody that the Rams could look at and say at least we're not them, like what the hell's going on with the Raiders? We can start with the QB play, but just overall, like what type of dirt does McDaniel have on Mark Davis to allow them to just destroy this franchise?
I hear that they just acquired Bill Belichick and Kraft as well today.
Oh, did they? So, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Hey, you got
Romeo
Jimmy
Cornell.
G and Bobby K out there getting rubbing tugs in Vegas.
Out there,
Vegas.
he don't have to run to the strip mall. He's good.
No, I mean,
No, man, here's the thing, for real. So it's so it pisses you off to be a Raiders fan.
it's got to suck.
Because like I said, once we've talked about it, once you pick a team, you're an adult. That's your team.
Right.
It don't matter, but it is damn hard to cheer for these Raiders because years after years of rebuilding after the Gruden Bowl, we still suck ass. We continue to draft these quote unquote high character flops on the first round, which is terrible. But anyways, so we go from Carr to Jimmy G, who's just a game manager.
Real quick, was Carr the problem?
He wasn't a problem, but he's never going to lead you deep into it unless you're like the 49ers or somebody.
I mean, to go to Carr to Jimmy G, like your best case scenario is it's an equal swap.
Yeah, exactly.
Your best.
He probably
case.
can stay held anyway. But news out of Vegas is they had to cancel his introductory press conference because Jimmy G was a no-show for his own conference.
Where do you think he was?
He was at the Bunny Ranch, of course. The hookers had the signs up and everything.
It's his town.
The power of porn.
The power of porn returns.
And
That's the
then they
power of
traded
prostitution.
Darren Waller to the Giants for a third-round pick. What the hell are they doing?
That blew me away.
And then you
That
trade
did blow me
then you
away.
sign Jacoby Myers. Like, are we selling? Are we buying? What the hell are we doing?
So, like the Jacoby Myers move is a move you think that he would make his first year coming in, get a guy that knows the offense, familiar with it. You gave Jacoby Myers, who I love, but he's gonna get you 50 yards a game, 55. He's like
That's what Mac Jones, the quarterback. This is Jimmy G.
Jimmy G.
He's like
And it's not the power of porn
too much
now.
money.
It's the power of prostitution. It's
true.
Because we're in Vegas.
You get rid of Carr, and the only reason I can see it going to Garoppolo, which is a slight step down, but it's not huge, is that they gave Garoppolo less money than what Carr was still owed.
Right.
So now you trade Waller. What'd you get back for Waller?
Third round.
Do you say first round pick for one of the best tight ends in the league?
I mean, you should at
Under
least
contract.
Get at least get a
third
second.
round.
You should at least get a second for Waller because Waller's a stud. I mean, he really is.
Try that trade on Madden.
I'm sure it's denied.
So the question.
So real quick, so I'm tired of following the Raiders, and so I'm not going to pick a new team, obviously, but I think I'm just going to start repping Houston Oilers gear
That's good.
because
See, that's
they're not-
allowed.
That's
That's
good.
allowed.
There's no team anymore. I just want to look good.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
All right,
I'll go
what
with
you got, Tom?
I was just going to say, I thought Waller and Garoppolo would have been a great fit. I don't understand.
He would have been a
that move at all.
security blanket
Yeah,
for,
I think it
for
would
a
have
guy
been
who
great.
can't throw down.
Like 15 yards. Okay, I got you.
You get rid of the one thing he does well.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't understand that move
Because he don't have to stretch the field with Waller. He just gets those first downs
Yeah.
with that big body.
Is the question though? Is there any magic in that relationship? I'm asking Biggie because you're the Patriots fan with McDaniel and Garoppolo.
Oh no, he's going to go out there, know the offense, and look really good in a few games, and then he's going to throw some really dumb passes in a tight game, which he always does, and they don't get injured.
So-
that is
Yeah,
what
he's
he
gonna
does.
he'll get hurt.
He wows you with some of the stuff he can do. He'll make a throw you would think a first or second year guy would do, and then he gets hurt.
And now you're not quarterback of the team that has the best defense in the league.
Yep.
You're on arguably one of the worst defenses in the
I don't know if I want to go to Vegas with you anymore, Biggie.
We're going.
I don't even know if I want to go to that.
I heard there's a lot of things to do in Vegas.
Yeah.
You might take a football game in, but you don't have to. You can do
Exactly.
some other stuff. Just go to Mandalay Bay.
Anything's on the table now, brother.
Zip lining.
Go
Yeah. That's what I'm
go
gonna
find Jimmy G. That's where
I'm
you-
hanging out where Jimmy G's hanging.
All right, more quarterbacks. Let's keep it rolling. You got Sakara to the Saints.
I feel like that was a really nice move for the Saints because they were 9-8 last year.
Isn't he the
right?
best quarterback in the division now?
Yep.
That's a shitty ass division.
That's hands down. He's best in the division.
Save that
trash.
conversation for the back burner here in a second because I do have a question about best quarterbacks in the NFC here shortly.
all right.
But I don't know if it elevates them that much more, but I think they'll be solid, and they're in the worst division.
If you put his stats and their stats compared to last year, they were actually better than Carr.
but Carr also played 3 less games. So just saying, a little smoke and mirrors there. I think it'll be all right. We'll see how he does. Maybe just getting out of Vegas, he can go cry in New Orleans. He'll be all right there. What about Tampa Baker? You excited for that one?
That was a good move for Tampa Bay, I think. I mean,
Low risk.
yeah. I mean,
I feel like it was a good move for both sides because you still got
Save your
Evans,
career.
Godwin, some decent
For
weapons.
now. For now.
Baker, it's a good move because he gets a chance to start. He's
I
not
mean,
going
because when he
whack
came
him
into the
somewhere.
Rams, he kind of, they were awed by the fact he kind of did okay.
They
At
gave him the
first.
playbook on the plane.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, are they a playoff team? Well, I don't
there's a
think
lot
so.
of there's a lot of
Well,
talent
that
down there.
division is going to be so bad. I think that they could compete for the division.
Them and the
title.
Saints.
Yeah.
So kind of like it was this last year.
Yep.
It's not going to be too different. I think it's kind of it for the QB carousel. I'll leave anybody out.
Lamar Jackson.
So
Where's he going?
that's
That's a good question.
that is a good
Yeah.
question.
So
you think,
here's
Turbo?
my prediction. Go ahead.
I think if he doesn't go back to the Ravens, I think he sits out.
I keep
think
hearing
he's
the
gonna sit out.
Falcons.
You think that what he's tendered at right now, if somebody else doesn't match it, he'll sit?
He'll sit.
He's
I
just
think
done
he-
with
I think,
Ravens.
I think he's got that ego.
Why is no one trying to even go after him?
Well, there's teams that would want him, but I think
They
what
don't
it
have the
is,
draft
Guaranteed.
I saw this. I listened to this thing on Colin Cowherd, and it was the perfect thing. He said you can come to a conclusion without it being collusion. No one is going to give him what he wants, which is more than what Deshaun Watson got, because Watson never should have got it. They're trying to reset the
the
market.
first guy that came out whenever that Watson deal was signed
was the Ravens owner.
yeah, and he's like, "This is the worst deal. This is going to set quarterback negotiations."
So what the
back."
Ravens are doing, and you can judge them however you want to. They're saying, "All right, Lamar, let's let everyone else set your market because we don't think you should get
Right.
At the
250
end
million."
of the day, the man can't win a game if he's behind. He only wins games if he's ahead and the tempo's in his favor.
Yeah, but
Where's he been at the end of the last 2 seasons?
on
Where's he
on
been at the end of the last
he's been
2
hurt.
seasons?
He's been hurt. That's because
I'm just saying, he can't come from
I
behind.
can't think of any other guy in history that's been an MVP that has won a playoff game, and this is where we're at. He's not even 30 years old. And
26 years old.
Yeah, but you know how running backs age.
True.
I think that he would be a great fit in Atlanta.
I keep hearing Atlanta.
I think here's what I would love to see happen. I heard this vaguely said, and I think it would be just great. So Daniel Snyder is getting pushed out by the other owners, right? He's not really running the team, but he's got deep pockets.
He's running.
He tells his wife, "Let's give Lamar $300 million, make it happen. It's all guaranteed." And he sells the team in 6 months. He reset the quarterback market, throws a big FU to every other owner.
I can see that. Yeah.
That's the most Dan Snyder thing ever.
Yeah.
the only other thing would be more Dan Snyder. Maybe he can go sign Zeke too.
Dude, so I got a quick question for you guys. Is Zeke a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Yes.
His stats are better than Terrell Davis.
That's where I was going.
But Terrell Davis also won MVP and had 2,000-yard season.
Well, he was
Zeke
on
never,
Super Bowl
Zeke never
winning
had John
teams.
Elway as a quarterback, neither.
He didn't. I mean, it's by modern day running back standards, he's light years ahead of him.
Let's say he hangs on for 3 or 4 more seasons. He's even in a part-time role. He's going to inflate the stats even more.
He's great around the goal line. You know, let's say Zeke, the first thing that came to mind when he got cut, your last play as a great Dallas Cowboy for 7 years is getting pancaked.
He played center and got put on his ass.
going away,
That's
President.
poetic justice.
So is Frank Gore a Hall of Famer to you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not saying he's not. I'm just trying
Not
to see if we can
boxer.
establish
Just football player.
No, Nate Robinson either, right?
Right.
We need a Frank Gore, Jake Paul matchup.
I think
Carousel.
Paul would win.
Yeah, Paul would win.
All right, so my question to wrap up the NFL conversation here. I want to hear who the best 5 quarterbacks in the NFC are now.
In the NFC,
The AFC is loaded.
Yes.
Like the
got,
AFC, you got
Hurts.
Kirk Cousins, Hurts,
Gino.
Kirk Cousins in the top 5.
Gino.
No.
Dak.
Yeah.
He might.
Why not?
Let's. All right. He might
Wait a
be
minute.
5.
Yeah,
might
wait a
be.
minute.
Carr,
I'd take
And,
Carl with Gino.
Kyler.
Why did I say Gino was? He's in the top 5.
Kyler Murray, I don't know.
I'd take Gino over Kyler.
Yeah, I would.
So
right
we all
now.
agree.
That's how bad the NFC
I'm
is.
saying-
Yeah, it's bad.
Carr, Cousins, Hurts.
Like maybe golf.
Think
Yeah.
go down through it and think
Yeah.
about it.
Numbers wise.
Golf played out, man. Golf is up there. But now.
Yeah, Goff had a good season. Don't
No, he did.
back away from
All right, now who's the 5 in the AFC? You got Mahomes.
Oh my God, that would be.
You got
5 guys that
You
are
got
gonna go to the Hall of Fame.
Allen. I mean, it's just not even the same now.
Yeah.
So it's
You can almost take the whole AFC over the NFC.
it's pretty bad. I just at least had to mention that. So we'll still see this stuff kind of play out. We got the draft coming up soon, and the question will be: some of these quarterbacks that have found new homes. How many more moving parts are going to be there? How many people are going to become cap casualties and take those dead hits by June 1st and all that good stuff? So still a lot to see. But just last but not least, give me a win total on the Jets.
I'll go 13 wins.
10.
8.
I go 9. I'll split the
Yeah,
difference.
there we go.
All right, one for everybody across the board. Good talk. So we got the World Baseball Classic going on right now, and there's I don't even know all the teams that are in it. I did see, was it Great Britain or England or whatever? Like,
Great Britain.
Did they get their jerseys at like the Salvation Army?
It looked like the Red Sox jerseys from,
Like 1890?
yeah, like when we were still
Babe Ruth.
when we were still in the T. I mean, it was bad.
It was they called it stickball back then.
From Wish, they got Sox jerseys from Wish.
That's exactly what it was. But there's a lot of excitement around the games. I saw where probably the most people ever filed into Lone Depot Park is you had what was it, Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic going at it, which
That's one way to get people to fill the D-backs and Marlins stadiums.
just got to get people of a certain culture to show up. But anyway, it's been
Let me run through the teams real quick.
All right.
So in Pool A, we had Cuba, Italy, Netherlands, Panama, Chinese Taipei. Pool B, Japan, Australia, Korea, Czech Republic, and China.
Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Pool C, Mexico, USA, Canada, Great Britain, and Colombia. Pool D, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Israel, and Nicaragua.
So 2 things out of that. I know two pitchers. There's one for Canada that I think pitched a third of an inning, and I think he might be on suicide watch.
He was 19.
19 years
They threw him
old.
the freaking wolves.
Why are we doing that? And then was
I think
it
there's a movie about
was
that.
it one from Venezuela that was also 19, and he was like striking out all these studs, and they're
And he
like,
got
He
signed.
got signed. Yeah, he
they're
got
like,
signed.
give that man a
He
contract.
shook out the heart of the order for the Dominican, and then the Tigers signed him on the
Tigers,
spot.
yeah.
Which country is the one
great.
that's playing? But some of their players are also like plumbers and electricians.
Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this electrician for the Czech Republic struck out Shohei Ohtani.
I
Yeah.
saw that picture.
So then
Then he had to go to work.
he gets his picture with him, and then Shohei comes up to him, and he's like, dude, I want your autograph and the whole team's autograph, and he gave it to Shohei.
That's awesome.
I mean, that's awesome. And then, but Shohei, like, we know how big of a cultural icon he is, doing what he's doing. In Japan, like, he's Jesus.
Oh yeah.
So he hit a 450-foot shot over there, and Japan is undefeated so far in this tournament. They're 4-0. So it's going to be fun when Japan meets up with the USA, Venezuela, and all these teams.
He's hitting so well. Ken Griffey Jr. said he might need to come out of retirement for the next WBC as he holds the all-time
Exactly.
WBC batting average title.
So this happens every 3 years. We had 2017 was the last one, so we're 6 years deep because the COVID in 2020 canceled the last one.
Yeah.
So we'll see the 2026. But it's been a great show.
It's got a
And
great
It's got to
skill
be
to
kind
it.
of weird for Trout to be playing in pressure pack games.
That's why he played, so he could maybe get a championship.
Biggie sprinkling some shit.
But so the U.S. and the Dominican have the best 2 lineups in the tournament. The Dominicans got knocked out by Puerto Rico last night. Was it last night or 2 nights ago?
No, last night, wasn't it?
Last night.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. So then Edwin Diaz, the best closer in the game, comes out, nails down the save. They're celebrating because they're cheering for their country.
Yeah.
Like, people don't understand how much this means, especially to the
It's like soccer.
more for the
World Cup.
Caribbean, but like even the U.S. Like Trout said, this is the most fun he's had playing on a diamond. People chanting USA, USA, and obviously the Japanese players are loving it. So the fact is, these players love it. You can trash it and say, he got hurt. Edwin Diaz got hurt celebrating.
But I saw it was Trout or Mookie Betts. One of them said, after asked about that, you're playing baseball in spring training too. So
Right.
what's
Dude, they were celebrating, and there was no he was literally jumping up and down, and he tore his patella tendon.
It was a
Yeah,
Martin Grammatica.
Yeah, it was a Grammatica deal.
He's out for 8 months. He could have done that in his living room.
Right.
So to me,
Calm down, everybody.
yeah, it's not like about screw the WBC. No, this is what we need.
Is it going to continue to grow? Like, I mean, we talked about the packed stadiums, and we missed it because of COVID. Like the cultural significance here, especially the Caribbean. But now you got like I don't know if the Czech Republic's been in it before, but like
So you got to qualify. That's the thing. Now you got teams like Nicaragua, the Netherlands, the Great Britain, not Netherlands.
but I know Netherlands has been in it before.
Yeah, but like so you got teams that's qualifying to get in for the first time ever. Now China, apparently they did so bad, they're not going to be in the next one. But
So is the Netherlands the Dutch?
Yes.
I just call them the Dutch.
yes.
yes, they like gold.
Dutch Dalton.
Hey, little girl.
Who's going to end up winning it?
See, Venezuela's undefeated and Japan's
Japan.
undefeated. I still like the U.S., but the U.S. lacks pitching. But you got to think the Japanese team doesn't have a lot of major leaguers.
Don't you feel like the Japanese team, just on the surface, you would just think, man, they probably work really well together.
No, I think they're a good team.
Right.
And then you throw Shohei in there.
Like they just,
Judgment.
they're like full of fundamentals, which
Oh,
the
yeah.
rest of
Yes.
baseball's lacking, and then you got Shohei.
Right.
That's
so,
crazy.
honestly, it's probably Japan or Venezuela is the favorites. And then the U.S. is a dark horse.
It's good time. So how much longer do we have before this thing wraps up?
Well, I mean, the season starts in 2 weeks, so we got a 2 week period here.
I mean, does it go right up to the beginning of the season?
It
I
have
think it was
to.
within a week, isn't it?
Is it?
I think there's about a week.
We might have a week. I don't know exactly.
I don't either.
But it's been good. But the big news cycle story was the Edwin Diaz thing.
So I'm a Braves fan, and I don't want the guy to go down like that. I mean,
You're a Braves fan?
shut up. So the fact is like you don't want to see nobody go down like you want to beat them at their best, and the best closer in baseball. But like, come on, man, the dude got hurt celebrating. He wouldn't have it any other way. Him and his brother are on the same Puerto Rico team. His brother plays for the Reds. So these guys, it means more to them, honestly, when you think about it.
Yeah. No, and let's not let that, sully the moment, right? It's still good. These clutch situations. These guys are playing it like it matters.
Also, Yadi Molina, badass manager, dude. Dude, he couldn't have managed that game for Puerto Rico any better than he did against the Dominican, because he didn't do his best pitchers 7, 8, 9. He did it when they were going through the heart of the order and made sure that his not as good pitchers pitched against the 7, 8, 9 hitters. See what I'm saying?
So
it's like not all saves are created equally.
Right. He's like,
holds have value.
They've got their badasses coming. I'm throwing in my badass.
So he's evolving well into this managerial role.
And then you got Benji Gill from Mexico, who's managed really well for Mexico, maybe managing into potential interviews in the future.
So that's good shit.
Yeah,
I'm excited for this. This is good stuff, and it's crazy to think it's been like 6 years since we've had this. But either way, another baseball thing I wanted to ask you about real quick. What's up with the Bananas?
All right, so they toured the country, Savannah Bananas. They haven't gotten real big until recently. They're coming here to Charleston this summer.
What do you mean they tour the country?
Are they like the Harlem Globetrotters?
They are,
of
correct.
baseball? Okay.
Do they do tricks on the diamond?
They do.
Oh, wow.
So, I was down there Friday in Savannah, witnessed it live. There's a dude pitching with stilts in the game.
Randy Johnson ain't got shit on this guy.
No, he was like 10 feet tall. But he was throwing strikes and everything.
How far does he step toward the plate?
He was close. That definitely was a 60'6".
Johnny Damon played a game for them.
Johnny came out. Bill Spaceman Lee was actually there in attendance when I was there.
Really?
He was warming up in the bullpen. He goes walking in all crazy, but it's part of the act. And they're like, no, go back to the bullpen. He's acting all pissed. But I think he was already drunk, so it was probably a good thing. Yeah. But it's a phenomenon down there. It's in this old stadium. You pull up. There's not even like concrete parking. You pull up and park in the mud under the willow trees.
Field.
It's amazing. Nice. They have all the merch, and it's just.
How many people fit in the stadium? Old school, like 5,000 people fit in or something?
Probably a little bit bigger than here in Charleston, so that's probably like 5K.
Okay.
But once you get there, though, there's no assigned seats. It's first come, first served.
General admission.
Oh,
baby.
nice.
So get there early, because they do a lot of early stuff for the kids.
So, like with the Harlem Globetrotters, they had a couple different guys you could remember, and that's who you wanted to get an autograph of. Is that how it is with Savannah Bananas, or do they just have kind of touring guys, different guys that are with them each year?
No, I think it's the same. They have a nucleus.
Okay.
But then they have the special guests and all that stuff. But it's more about not who they are, but what they do.
Gotcha. So they're coming to Charleston.
Yeah, and it's sold out in 24 hours.
It's sold out.
Yeah, already.
Really?
Yeah.
When are they coming?
In June.
June?
So
we got to find a way.
When they went on sale, they were sold out in 24 hours. And we can't even get, of course, with the team,
standing room
the team
only?
named the Dirty Birds. No one wants to see that shit at Go-Mart Stadium.
That's the most West Virginia thing ever.
Go for good times.
That's trash.
Go-Mart.
What would you name the stadium? What West Virginia, business? I mean, you want to be Parmar Field? Parmar. Come on, guys. It had to be Tudor's Biscuit World Stadium, right?
I would be down with that.
Yeah,
that would be good. Everything else is
Tudor's Park.
Green
Park.
Street.
Green Street. Hey, I like Green Street. It's good stuff.
Adventures on the Gorge, or I don't know.
Yeah, there
I
you
like
go.
any of that stuff.
We're stuck with Go-Mart.
That's terrible.
It feels good to almost have a show wrapped up after missing last week. I hope you had a good time enjoying those Savannah Bananas or whatever happens down south. But anyway, NBA, just a couple things to hit on real quick. You guys were talking earlier about Mr. LeBron James, and is he feigning an injury, you think? Is that what's happening?
That's what there's an anonymous report out, of course, anonymous source that gives this, but it's an NBA executive saying that LeBron had chosen to quit on the Lakers prior to the trade deadline because he didn't like the direction the team was going in, that the injury wasn't real, and now that they're playing well, he wants to come back because, he wants that shine. I will say one thing, believe it or not, after his injury, he was out for about a week, and there's video of him and his wife at a concert. He's got no boot on, and he's dancing. I mean, maybe he's just drunk, but I'm saying there is some smoke to it.
He takes a drink, the pain goes away. It is what it is.
Give him a shot and put him on the court.
So, another, well, we got footage and video of all kinds of things out in the world now. John Morant, like, we haven't talked about this on the show. What the hell's going on with this dude?
So he got officially suspended for 8 games now. The NBA hadn't done anything up to that point, but he went full James Harden, Adam Pac-Man Jones, rolled him into one.
I just wanted a Pac-Man joke.
So bad that the Grizzlies have decided,
Gilbert Arenas.
depending on where, nice.
Good one.
Depending on where they are on the road, they're not going to stay overnight. So when they play in Miami, they'll leave immediately after the game.
He definitely had Gilbert Arenas poster in his.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Then the other NBA, kind of NBA, was Sean Kemp got in the news in all the wrong ways.
See, we told
He
you.
let it rain.
They play so weak now. Sean Kemp is what's the dude blocking all those shots in the Adam Sandler movie? Not Irvin, but the other big old dude. Terry Crews. That's gonna be Sean Kemp when he gets into prison.
It ain't easy being cheesy. That's what he says.
Yeah.
Baby back, bitch.
That one hurt my soul with Sean Kemp. I ain't gonna lie.
Sean Kemp's the only man in history, in human recorded history, to do coke and then get fat.
Yeah.
Like he got big.
Yep.
Man, but I wish he was acquitted though, right? Like, or not charged, or
Hasn't been charged yet, but to go back to doing coke and getting fat, I'll never forget that because he's playing with Damon Stoudemire for the Blazers and a couple other guys, but it was that Damon Stoudemire team. Anyway,
Ryan Grant and Sheed.
his teammates snitched him out simply because they thought he was going to die because no one does coke gets fat.
What's happening? like, that's a good teammate.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
I want you to die, bro. Drill to me, damn it.
That's what the movie Cocaine Bear was based off of, with Sean Kemp.
Okay.
I can see that shit.
Oh, speaking of just entertainment.
Did Cocaine Bear win any Oscars?
All of them. Best movie ever. Dethroned the Highlander.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Don't you know?
That didn't happen.
Cocaine Bear was a good ride. It's a fun movie. If I can be jump scared and laugh, maybe even cry a little bit, you know how that's a good evening.
You shed a tear. A Cocaine Bear.
A little bit. You know, touching movie.
Yeah.
Look at the mirror now, you'll shut it.
You know, the thing was. Is that necessary?
Hey, a bald dude making fun of a newly bald dude.
Like you just had to go there.
Well, I'm looking at you. It's March Madness, and I keep seeing Cam Thurman.
You know what? You know what happens. You know what happens when you use words. You know, it used to be sticks and stones may break my bones, and words will never hurt me. But words apparently
Now
hurt
they're
people.
piercing.
They hurt people really bad. Just ask Chris Rock how bad words can hurt. So, did you watch the stand-up special?
I just saw just a glimpse of it where he talked
guys
about
seen
it,
any
like
of it?
5 seconds
I'm not.
worth of it.
It's not the best one. Now, I didn't know Netflix was into the business of doing live streaming comedy events, but did you know that was live streamed?
I did not. I thought it was like one of those pre-recorded tours.
No, it was live streamed, and he even messed up a joke in the middle of it. And he even said, "I didn't screw that joke up." But you know, he did the job of dangling the carrot, you know, waiting the whole show, and you get to the final 10 minutes, and I cannot do it justice, but if I had to kind of give you the synopsis of, you know, he was talking about Will Smith and, you know, going on TV and talking about this with your wife, and, you know, there's only one way I can describe Will Smith, and he's a bitch, and, you know, just he's such a bitch. And just, you know, everybody was talking about how he was just such a bitch, and just what a bitch ass person. He's a bitch. That was the whole thing. He just leaned into, like, he'd been holding that for a year and just unloaded, and that's how the show went off. He basically called Will Smith a bitch about 15 times, and then dropped the mic, walked off.
I wish he would have told us how he really felt.
Which I remember when that shit happened. Whenever he hit him, and like he was saying, like, why does he pick on me? He's twice the size of me. Yeah. I can't beat up anybody. And what does Will Smith do? He comes after me.
With an open hand slap. Like a bitch.
Like a bitch. But if you remember when that happened, Chris Rock had that moment where he said, like, I could, and he just stopped.
Yeah.
Like, man,
I wish he would have said what he was thinking right
is
there.
it the foresight to think about, like, I could make a lot of money off of this in due time. So let me just take a minute and do that. So, good for you, Chris Rock. You capitalized on the situation.
Hey, I'll say this, though. The Rock in attendance, even he looked scared from that slap. You see his face?
Yeah.
So Mr. Badass was even scared. The Brahma Bull.
But I think it's safe to say Will Smith's career is pretty much done, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's kind of
it's over.
Well, he's been banned from the Oscars for 10 years, so he might as well not try doing any good movies.
He's gotten crazier as the years went on.
He's Scientology, right?
Yeah.
Like they say, he's not officially saying that, but I think he definitely worships in the same place that Tom Cruise.
Well, he's
and
a
John
conspiracy
Travolta.
theorist too, who's against the government. But I don't know. I kind of feel bad for Will Smith in a way, just because he's been so maligned in a national stage about how he's been treated by his wife, and then when he has feelings, they make fun of him. So it's probably best for him that he's done.
Because when that happens, you shouldn't be a bitch. And you should get out of that relationship.
He needs to take Jada to the train station.
Well, it sounds like she already goes to the train station.
Wrong train.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been another episode of the We Don't Know Sports podcast. We hope you enjoyed spending time with us today. And just got to close with one final thing. You know what today is, right? Tomorrow, if you're listening to this, it might be St. Patty's Day when you're hearing this. But what's today?
Today is the day to drink a beer and give your boss a stunner day.
What? Give me a hell yeah, Turbo.
Hell yeah!
It's Austin 316 Day.
No.
He's going to drop you on that stack of dimes you call it next, son.
Hell yeah!
So let's just end it with some what's, because we're gonna drink a beer.
What?
I think I'm gonna drink another beer.
What?
Maybe some Jack Daniels.
What?
Smoke a joint.
What?
Drink another beer.
What?
Have a keg.
What?
And kick some ass.
What?
Because Stone Cold said so.